Acquiring knowledge requires learning, and learning requires resources. Today, we are going to see about the topic learning resources in mathematics. Library as a learning resources. Library resources are those materials, both print and non print, found in school libraries which support curricular and personal information needs. Print items including the books, magazines, newspapers, pamphlets, microfiche, or microfilm. Non-print items include films, disc records, film strips, slides, prints, audio tapes, videotapes, compact disc, and computer software. Library management. Libraries have an important role to play in facilitating access to information for learning, education, and training. It is a known fact that a well managed library is a successful library. The library management means efficient and effective management of material like the information sources, machinery, men, that is the human resource, technology, and money to meet the objectives of the library. Thus, librarian as a manager performs all the functions of a manager or an administrator. Functions of library management. Henry Fayol expounded the principles and practices of management in the modern context. Fayol devoted his attention to the study of managerial activities and identified the basic and universally applicable five functions that is applicable to library management also, such as planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. Functions of library management. The library provides perpetual self education, lifelong self education, and universal self education. Education and learning is a lifelong process. The schools, classrooms provide the initial momentum. Thereafter, it is the library system which serves the necessary aids to perpetuate self education for all. Uses of library books in learning resources. Libraries play a vital role in imparting knowledge. Libraries help in learning and expansion of knowledge. Therefore, it develops the habit of reading and boosts the thirst for more and more knowledge. It adds to what an individual has already learned and leads to his personal growth and development in life. Libraries are especially essential for people who cannot afford costly books and resources for reading and acquiring information. They are the ones who truly understand the value and importance of library. Libraries do not only provide resources but also offer service by professional librarians who are experts at searching, organizing, and interpreting information needs. Libraries provide virtual space for individual and group studies. They also facilitate access to digital resources and internet. Modern libraries are extending services by providing material accessible by digital media. Librarians provide assistance in navigating and also analyzing large amount of information through digital resources. Library is the place with absolute silence where one can concentrate on reading. Even though it is open for all people, the basic rule for all those who enter the library is to read peacefully and also the maintain silence. People who love reading create their own private libraries. Such ambience at home has a positive impact on the members of the family. However, it helps in developing a reading habit in children and contributes to their growth and development. It broadens the outlook of the people. Learning beyond textbooks. Learning beyond books opens up an expansive educational environment, going beyond the traditional approach of textbook learning. This new model of education encourages a deeper interaction with the subject matter, propelling students to question, analyze, and create solutions. So, some of the examples and case studies can be done. A primary example of learning beyond textbooks is the flipped classroom model. Here, students explore concepts at home via videos or reading materials, and class time is devoted to collaborative projects and discussions. This innovative approach illustrates the potential of learning beyond books. Moreover, case studies, often used in business and law schools, exemplify learning beyond textbooks. They provide students with real world scenarios, pushing them to apply their knowledge to solve complex problems. Such methods not only enhance understanding but also equip students with the skills required to navigate real life situations effectively. Some of the other resources of learning are going to be like film and television, plays, radio programs and podcasts, multimedia applications, software platforms and games, social media, digital learning resources including video, audio, text, websites, animations and images, lectures, speeches, performances, objects and artifacts, and so on. So, some of the print resources are books, journals, newspapers, magazines, and encyclopedias. Print resources, textbooks, and workbooks. Print materials are primarily paper based materials that reach intended audiences through written words or illustrations. Examples of print materials include flyers, pamphlets or brochures, protective school book covers, fact sheets, posters, and cards. A textbook is a book that is used in a classroom setting to teach students about a particular subject in a more formal way with a background information. A workbook is a book that contains exercises and activities for students to do in order to practice and learn the material. So, workbook consists of the worksheets, theme, styles, and also names. And under styles, it could be a cell style, and under the name, it could be I spreadsheet name. Self instructional and supplementary reading material. Self instructional material is to create a learning environment for making the learner to learn. It contains the answers of all possible queries, confusions, and questions that may come in the mind of the learner at the time of learning. So, this may also be called as SIM. SIM. Supplementary materials. It means that any instructional materials other than textbooks and required curriculum materials, including but not limited to books, it's like literary and non-fiction, periodicals, newspapers, slides and transparencies, models, pictures, diagrams, maps, charts, slides, electronic recordings, and computer applications which relate to the curriculum and are available for teacher use and or student selection. Supplementary materials are used to provide extension, enrichment, and support to the curriculum, usually by individuals or small groups. Projected and non projected aids. Audiovisual aids may be divided into different types for the sake of convenience. They are visual or non projected aids or projected aids. These projected aids are of two types. They are projected still pictures or projected motion pictures. Non projected aids. It has been found by studies that about 75% of knowledge is received through the eyes. This fact throws clear light on the significance of visual aids in teaching learning process. Projected aids. Projected aids, projected visual aids are pictures shown upon on a screen by the use of a certain type of machines. Values of projected aids. Best motivators. They are the best motivators. The student work with more interest. They are more attentive. A projected aid is suitable for a large group as well as small groups. The projected image could be made large and bright on the screen. It includes the following materials: book diagrams, flat pictures, etc., slides, film strips, 16 mm sound film, standard 8 mm loop film cassette, OHP transparency single or overlay acrylic sheet transparency, microscope slides, small objects, or a 35 mm motion picture sound film. More are there: Epidiascope, slide projectors, film strip projector, 16 mm sound film projector, 8 mm standard cassette film projector, overhead projector, 15.35 mm motion picture projector with lens. Let's see about non-projected aids. Those which do not help in their projection on the screen. There is a long list of projected aids being used in teaching learning process. It includes the following teaching aids. So first one we are going to see is about a visual, that is a pictorial non-projected two-dimensional. It includes blackboard writing and drawing, charts, posters, maps, diagrams, graphs, photographs, cartoons, etc. Mathematics laboratory. The mathematics laboratory is a unique concept in the field of mathematics education that was introduced in the year 1994. It has come a long way in enriching mathematics at primary, secondary, and senior secondary level. In developed countries, the mathematics laboratory is an integral part of a regular curriculum. Functions of mathematics laboratory: permitting students to learn abstract concepts through concrete experiences and thus increase their understanding of those ideas, enabling students to personally experience the joy of discovering principles and relationships, arousing interest and motivating learning, cultivating favorable attitudes towards mathematics, enriching and varying instructions, encouraging and developing creative problems solving ability. Objectives of mathematics laboratory: to provide readily accessible, rich, manipulative materials to emphasis on learning by doing, to develop an attitude of inquiry, remove the weakness of present day mathematics education, to develop much needed confidence in students, to generate interest in the subject, to make the students divergent thinkers, to make the children to look for pattern and ask questions, apply concepts learned in class to new situations, better appreciate the role of experimentation in science, develop critical quantitative thinking, develop experimental and data analysis skills, develop intuition and deepen understanding of concepts, develop reporting skills, written and oral, exercise curiosity and creativity by designing a procedure to test a hypothesis. Experience a basic phenomena. Learn to estimate statistical errors and recognize systematic errors. Learn to use a scientific apparatus. Practice collaborative problem solving. Test important laws and rules. Hopefully, this model would be beneficial about learning resources. Thank you and have a nice day.